Joining us next on behalf of DocuSign is Nancy Nardin. Nancy is considered the foremost expert on sales productivity tools. She's been named one of the top 25 sales bloggers by HubSpot and one of the top 25 sales industry influencers by both OpenView Labs and InsideView. Her site, smartsellingtools.com, has won numerous awards for educating sellers and marketers about tools. Nancy produces a free weekly newsletter that's read by more than 30,000 sales and marketing professionals. Please join me in welcoming Nancy to the Sales Acceleration Summit.
Well, thanks for inviting me to participate today. It's important before we get started for those of you listening to know that we don't actually sell sales tools. We have a destination site for sales and marketing leaders to learn about great tools that can help you increase revenue. And you'll find all kinds of resources on our site. You can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter where we offer links to content and events. And last, you should think about registering to attend our weekly online demo days. So every Thursday at 11 o'clock, we have one new vendor-presented demo on their tool so that you can discover tools that are uniquely suitable to you, because that's difficult. The important part is to find something that really works for you because you're different. What helps you might not help some other organization and vice versa. For one thing, you probably have unique systems in place that any new tool you bring in will need to integrate with. And you have a unique sales process, most likely. And you certainly have unique business challenges. So that being said, there are some things that are universal across companies, and here's one of them. Finding the right tools for your organization is a strategic imperative, and that's because of two reasons. One, they help your sales organization be more efficient. And two, they help your team be more effective. Now, I really hate using those two words because they're used so often that they really kind of lost their impact. But the truth is that efficiency and effectiveness are basic tenets of productivity. And if you want to improve something, you have to look at these two factors. So today I'm going to tell you 5 ways to close more deals faster using smart tools. Well, let's break that down given what I just said. You can't close more deals unless you improve your effectiveness. And you can't close more deals faster unless you improve your efficiency. So I hope to convince you that tools are the key to accelerating sales precisely because they help you with those two things. Now, to help make my point, let's take a look at a very important stat. The average salesperson spends just 35% of her time interacting with prospects. Now that begs two questions. What is she doing the other 65% of her time? And what would happen if she could move the needle from 35 to 50% of her time? Now, the reason why she spends 35% of her time is not because she's using Facebook and things like that. What's keeping salespeople from spending more of their selling time actually selling is that they have a lot to do to manage their business and to move deals along. So the key to increasing sales efficiency is to eliminate and reduce the time it takes to do everything that needs to be done so that you can spend more time selling. And time is the key word here because we know that time is finite. Salespeople have only 8 hours a day and 215 selling days to do what they need to do. That's it. That's their sales capacity. And you want more of their sales capacity to be spent producing revenue and less of it to be spent on tasks that aren't critical to producing revenue. Let's talk about what happens to revenue if you can shift your use of sales energy from non-selling tasks to selling tasks. If you can move the needle from 35% of your day selling to 50%, you'd go from 2.8 hours to 4 hours of selling time each day. And that is a 15-point swing in the needle. So how much more revenue can you expect? Well, let's start by saying that your rep on average has a $1 million territory. So at 15 points, you would think that you would get $150,000 in increased revenue, except that is not correct. And that's because it turns out a slight increase in efficiency results in an even greater increase in revenue. And The reason why is because an increase from 35 to 40% is really a 42.8% increase in selling time. So a rep who shifts her use of sales energy 72 minutes a day no longer sells $1 million in revenue, but rather $1,428,000. So I hope I've got your attention and that now you're dying to know how you can free up 72 minutes a day for more selling time. Let's start with email, right? Because it's one of the largest consumers of time. In fact, email consumes 28% of the average worker's time. It's not surprising then that the first 3 ways to close more deals faster have to do with making email more efficient and effective. And those 3 are templates, tracking, and timing. Templates are one of the best ways to accelerate your sales process. There isn't any need to recreate emails or to hunt through your email box to find that perfect email that you used in the past. I know that's what I used to do, hunt through a long list of sent emails, but that just eats up time. So you want to set up templates that you can access through your email client or directly from within Salesforce. And it won't take long and you'll have the perfect emails that you can use for any situation. Here we're looking at Yesware, and you can see that your salespeople would have access to private or shared email templates from within Outlook or Gmail or Salesforce. Now, regardless of whether you send an original email or you send a template email, you can track and you should track what happens next because you'll know when your prospect opens and forwards the email, which is a strong indicator of their interest. And it also gives you really important insight about when you should call back. In addition, and this is really important, you can now track how well your content resonates with your prospects. So here we're looking at ClearSlide or at a ClearSlide dashboard, and you can see whether prospects are viewing the entire presentation or document or whether they're stopping midway through. Do they view certain pages more than others? This type of analysis is a game changer for marketers for sure because they spend a lot of money on content to support the sales process. And the third way to close more deals faster is with better timing. Now, the same tools you use for templates and for tracking can also be used to better time and prioritize follow-up. I already mentioned how you can know when you're top of mind because you can see when your email was opened. Well, here we're looking at LiveHive lead active prospect ranking dashboard. And with LiveHive, you can see who's the most engaged and you can see their complete interaction history. And when you're dealing with a large number of prospects, it helps a lot and saves a lot of time if you have a system that can quickly prioritize your call follow-up for you. So with tools like LiveHive, Yesware, and ClearSlide, you can conquer 3 ways to close more deals faster. And now we're going to switch gears and talk about the opposite end of the sales process when you're chasing paperwork after you've gotten the verbal yes. And it's not uncommon for deals to go south while the paperwork is sitting on someone's desk somewhere. And that's really just sickening to have happen, right? But it does because companies go through reorgs, companies announce budget cutbacks out of nowhere, and politics and priorities can change at any time, and that causes deals to come to a screeching halt. So with that in mind, I'll tell you about the last 2 of the 5 ways you can close more deals faster, and they have to do with getting the signature. We're talking about reducing processing activities and speeding the time to signature. So think just a minute about the typical workflow process that your reps go through to get a signature on a deal. They have to overcome a lot of hurdles, and it probably looks something like this. You have to email, print, fax, or overnight the contract. You have to verify with the prospect that the contract was received. you have to wait for them to print it or scan it or route it and do all the things that they have to do with the document. And then you wonder where it is in the signing process. So that eats up time. Then you think about all the calls you make to check in and get the status of the signature and find out where it's at. And if you're lucky, you get the signed document without any missing signatures or initials. But if you're not lucky, then you have to start again. And of course, that then impacts your forecast, because now your forecast is likely to be incorrect because deals won't come in when you thought they would. With DocuSign, you just upload a file and you send it to your customers for their review. You'll always know which documents need your signature, how many and which documents are waiting on signatures. Plus, you'll have a record of all the signed documents. Think about all of those hurdles that I just mentioned on the previous slide that now go away because you've sent it for electronic signature. Last, let's talk about speed to signature. Here's a stat that really says it all. The sales team at Salesforce gets 71% of their contracts signed and returned within 1 hour of sending it using DocuSign. And now that's huge. That means that they can invoice faster. It means they don't have to worry as much about deals falling through. And it means that they can onboard new clients faster. So there you have it, 5 ways to close more business faster. And if you'd like other ideas for sales performance tools, I'd encourage you to visit us at smartsellingtools.com and check out our brand new Sales Tools of 2015 guide. It's the top tools, our top tool picks for the year. And be sure to register and sign up for our Thursday demo days. It's been a pleasure talking with you all.